Hello, I am going to be looking at President Biden's speech, which I have to say I found very disturbing. I don't think I'm the only one, of course. There were a couple of things that struck me quite forcibly about it, and one of them was the amount of religious imagery that there is in the speech. Words, religious code words like believe and soul and, look, there's nothing wrong with talking about these things. It's just that there was such an amount of them. And also, being a Brit, I probably noticed this more. It probably scratched my mind a little more, because in Britain, you don't get politicians using religious imagery that much. And if they use too much of it, they get laughed at. It's just a different attitude. So I probably am being hypercritical on that issue. That is, most Americans would take the religious imagery for granted, whereas I don't. And they wouldn't consider this an unusual thing, whereas I would. So there's that. But I did notice it quite a lot, and I'm going to flag it up here. The second thing is that I did notice there was a sort of pattern to the way this speech was constructed. He sandwiches various concepts between other concepts. They sort of slot in. So first of all, there's a bit of religious imagery, and then a stab at MAGA Republicans. And he uses MAGA Republicans as if that's one word. So he's obviously trying, or his speechwriter or whoever's behind him is obviously trying to create a concept of MAGA Republicans, which is bad, MAGA Republican bad. And so people can use that later on as a piece of vocabulary, which is shorthand for bad people. Right, so, and he does that rather a lot. But as for the religious imagery, let's see. He uses the word believe rather a lot. Let's see how many times. Believe. 25 times. That's a lot of times. 25 times, that's one believe a minute. Okay, and let's see what he says about MAGA Republicans. MAGA, let's have a look at MAGA. That's only 14 times. Right, well, that's pretty good for 20 minutes as well. So I'll go through some of it. And first of all, I'm going to start with the religious stuff. Now, I might miss something. So if you see something I missed, tell me in the description. But one does one's best. I speak to you tonight from sacred ground. All right, so we're already at the altar here, aren't we? He is a priest giving us a sermon about what's good and what's bad from sacred ground. Let's see what's next. Okay, so is that the next one? Well, there's America has been a beacon to the world. Again, do you remember that description of Jesus, which is the light of the world, isn't it? What else? We the people have burning inside of each of us the flame of liberty that was lit here at Independence Hall, a flame that lit our way through, and then a whole load of things that, and then next, and the fact that that is religious becomes apparent in the next bit when he says that sacred flame still burns. And then the next thing, a mission I believe in with my whole soul. Okay? And then what next? The next religious bit. A nation of hope and unity and optimism, or a nation of fear, division and darkness. Straight off. religious imagery there. Yeah, here he talks about dream and hope. This is a nation that believes in the rule of law. Not that has the rule of law, by the way, that believes in it. We are still in an America that believes in honesty and decency and patriotism, justice for all. Okay, yeah, fair enough. And then he talks about ideology, again, just generally, regardless of your ideology, but even so, that's another religious word. Now, I'm not saying that all of this is religious. What I am saying is he is piling on the religious words. So the idea, I think, is to give the impression that what he's talking about is some sort of a religious, some sort of a millennium, hope and bright. He does talk about how everything's going to be marvellous and there's going to be rainbows and unicorns and all the rest of it, as opposed to, and then words about MAGA Republicans are associated with a lot of words involving darkness of various sorts. So whoever wrote this speech is trying to create an impression here of duality, Manichaean system of some sort. Now, what else is next? I'm still looking. Yeah, here again, MAGA Republicans. They're the dark side. Look at America and see carnage and darkness and despair. They spread fear and lies told for profit and power, like the Democrats never tell lies. But I see a different America, and a marvellous light America with roads, bridges, highways, ports, water systems, high-speed internet, railroad. Well, I can see stuff like that as well. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. I believe we can make America safer, not we can make America safer. I believe we could go from being the highest cost of prescriptions to, I believed we could create a clean energy future and save the planet. So that's what I did. Light is now visible, he says. Light that will guide us forward, not only in words, but in actions. And then a battle here, battle of the soul of this nation. I believe the soul is the breath, the life and the essence of who we are. That means absolutely nothing. I believe the soul is the breath and the essence of who we are. Pardon? The soul is what makes us us. What soul? What's he talking about? The soul of America is defined by the sacred proposition that all are created equal in the image of God. So here you see, again, he appears to be talking about politics, but he's using a lot of words which evoke in anyone who's had any sort of religious education of some sort of a religious framework for all of this. And then he talks about the American creed and America, the United States of America, and may God protect our nation and may God protect all those who stand watch over our democracy. And he's given the impression in that he and his party are the ones who stand watch over our democracy. And then he finally ends up with God bless you all, democracy. Thank you. You see, a democracy there doesn't mean anything. It's just a word, but he put it in there because he wanted that in your mind. And he gave us a blessing. We are being blessed by the high priest of the American dream. Now, again, I'm just going to go through what he says when he mentions MAGA. Find MAGA. Right, that's one. Too much of what's happening in our country is not normal. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans, see how he's jammed those two together, represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. Okay, next. Not every Republican, so he backtracks a little here, just so that when people look at the speech, he'll be able to say, well, I didn't say every Republican, but basically that's what he is doing. However, here, not every Republican, not even the majority of Republicans are MAGA Republicans. But that's no question. The Republican Party is dominated, driven and intimidated by Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. And that's a threat to this country, which of course he and the guardians of democracy are going to deal with. Let's see. And here, in my view, is what is true. MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. MAGA forces are determined to take this country backwards. And at this point, I start to remember what the Nazis were saying about Jews in the 30s. You know, everything that was wrong with Germany was because of the Jews, and they were likened to rats or vermin of some sort. And here we have everything that's wrong in America to partisans and cronies, empowering election deniers to undermine democracy itself. MAGA forces are determined to take this country backwards. They're forces now. And you see, anyone who then says, make America great again, becomes automatically an evil person. And they see their MAGA failure to stop a peaceful transfer of power. A MAGA failure? A make America great again failure? What? And Michael Luttig has called Trump and the extreme MAGA Republicans a clear and present danger. So these people are evil and they're dangerous. And again, the word extreme, and the word belief here. Americans from every background and belief who reject the extreme MAGA ideology. And MAGA Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos. They live not in the light of truth, but in the shadow of lies. Again, you know, Democrats and Republicans. And they're the dark side. They're the devils. And this is really incredibly terrible stuff. Oh, I didn't talk about the religious here. I found dream and hope. I don't think I caught that. Now, let's see what else we have dealing with MAGA. Oh yeah, here we are. We must be stronger, more determined and more committed to saving American democracy. And MAGA Republicans are destroying American democracy. There's only one belief to bind them. That's all. And then he says, I'm taking a break from the MAGA. There is no place for political violence in America. None, ever. Okay. Where are we? MAGA. I'm looking for another MAGA here. Oh yeah, here we are. Either they win or they were cheated. And that's where MAGA Republicans are. They don't understand what every patriotic American knows. You can't love your country only when you win. It's fundamental. But they do love their country. So he's, this is, what is it, straw manning, saying that they don't love their country because because Trump didn't win? No, they love their country. They think Trump was cheated. Well, you know, whether he was cheated or not, it doesn't make them unpatriotic. It just makes them doubt what the Democrats say. And of course, there's good reasons to believe that they were cheated. I don't know about the proof, but the fact is that so many newspapers who have been hiding the truth and who admit they've been hiding the truth have been saying that Trump wasn't cheated, that there will be people who will think, well, if they say Trump wasn't cheated, then that's got to be exactly the opposite. Okay, let's carry on with the MAGA. MAGA Republicans look at America and see carnage and darkness and despair. They spread fear and lies told for profit and power. But I see a different America, an America with an unlimited future. You see, here we get light and dark. Well, in this case, dark and light. I believe we could lift America from the depths of COVID. You know, we carry on, I believe. We can make it, well, I've already done that, haven't I? I'm talking about the MAGA things. So, and then he says, and the future will be made in America no matter what the white supremacists and the extremists say. So he's now brought that in, and that's the only place he actually mentions them. And I think, it seems to me quite obvious that he's lumping the MAGA Republicans in with that. They're the dark side there. And then I'm breaking in on the MAGA stuff again. This made me laugh. Even in this moment, with all the challenges we face, I give you my word, as a Biden, I've never been more optimistic about America's future. If somebody gives you his word as a Biden, I would be worried about what he was saying next. Anyway, but on a future we can build together. The MAGA Republicans believe that for them to succeed, everyone else has to fail. And that's not true either. I mean, all of this is really nasty straw manning. But again, he's using the word MAGA Republicans in connection with everything negative that any American voter would believe. Any more MAGAs here? We're getting towards the end. No, I think that's the last MAGA. Just a minute. Yeah, right. No, that was the last MAGA. So that's my that's my overview of how Biden's speech was constructed. It was obviously very deliberate. He was obviously trying to create a sort of a dichotomy, a dichotomy, light and dark, Democrats and MAGA Republicans. And it's just, so what, it's obvious also that he's trying to put people off because he thinks that Trump will run again, and they're trying to dirty the Trump image before the elections, the various selections start. So, but I found it very, very nasty. For instance, he was saying every one of those people who were wearing the MAGA hats and going to those rallies, they were all evil. They were filled with darkness. They could just see chaos. They had a stained view of the world. All of those people. Well, that's othering a whole group of people. It's very dangerous. It's very nasty. The only way I can characterize that speech, if you wanted me to boil it down into a quick meme, it is darkness masquerading as light. Very disturbing, and I'm really sorry that America has come to this, where such a man, you can find people like that on the fringes of politics. But this is the president, the centre of politics, coming out with stuff like that. I'm sorry, that was a cut-in because I was giving political advice there, and that's not my place. But it's just shocking. It really is. Dark masquerading as light. Lies masquerading as truth. Evil masquerading as good. I'd go as strong as that. Okay, I'm Granniopteryx. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. Please like and share this video. Subscribe to it if you are subscribed. Check it because YouTube drops subscriptions. If you want notifications of my videos, it's a good idea to subscribe to @Granniopteryx on Twitter, Gab or Parler, because then I always let you know when I've uploaded something. Again, YouTube, not that punctilious about such things. All right, like, share, subscribe, check your subscription, and please support this channel. All the links to the various methods you can do that, including Buy Me a Coffee, will be in the description. Okay, till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the granniopteryx design or Granbo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.granniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.